This summer, we're making one short film each month, and this month is the first. Okay, so we started with the first thing that we knew we needed, the script. Since this is the first month, we actually did not want it to be too complicated. I already had a pre-existing idea that is quite simple. It is based in this apartment right here, so we're making the first one as easy on us as we can make it to be. During the writing of the script, it turned out not to be so easy, so you'll hear about that later. So I invited two of my friends, Nina, she's gonna be lead actress in this movie, and you know her from Circle of the Soul, and Bruno, her brother and my friend, he also works on Circle of the Soul, here to turn that idea into an actual script. Now, I don't want to reveal the idea and the script to you fully because I want you to see the movie, even though it's gonna come out in like 2-3 weeks. So you're not gonna have to be waiting a long time, but you're gonna have to be waiting a bit. All I'm gonna say is that we are following one main character through her day-to-day life and just following her with her, daily tasks and stuff she's doing that we're gonna film in a really interesting way. I'm gonna cover more of that in post-production or pre-production video, I'm gonna see. And intertwined are flashbacks of her when she is drugged and abusing drugs and drunk and just being completely irresponsible, and this whole apartment is trashed and ruined because she's living that junkie life instead of which is complete opposite of the life that she is living now, which is kind of picture perfect. She's going to school, she's running and stuff like that. I'm not gonna tell you what's gonna be the twist and what's gonna be the plot of the movie. I'm just gonna say those two things because they are important moving on. So we just threw the ideas back and forth between the three of us until we came up with something that's actually good. I believe the script is 3 pages long. I wanted to make the first film around 5 minutes long, 5 to 7 minutes. I actually want to focus on making all of these 3 shorts during the summer around 5 to 7 minute mark. So we're not making something too extremely complicated because it is still one film a month challenge. And I believe that if you can say a story in 5 minutes, then it's a good story. If you can actually say the entire story in those 5 minutes, it means you did something good. So it's part of the challenge to make the story so short that we can tell everything we want to tell in 5 to 7 minutes. And the hardest part of creating this entire script, at least for us, was getting the title, because we are horrible with titles. I especially am. We took so long to get Circle of the Soul title. It took ages. We had like the entire final draft of the script and we had no clue what the movie is gonna be called. But after some brainstorming, we actually think we have a working title, at least. Maybe it's gonna be a final title, not sure. It's called Fragments of Her. We wanted to develop this story a bit further, and we wanted to actually pay great attention to set design, because that's not something we could do a lot of on Circle of the Soul, since the house was not ours and this movie is set in this apartment, which is mine, so we can do pretty much anything to it. So for such an incredible transformation of the apartment, I am willing to sacrifice my apartment into making it at first kind of picture perfect girly girls apartment, and then the second set design is gonna be completely trashed with pretty much drug den. Imagine Jesse Pinkman's house in Breaking Bad. That's the vibe we're going for. So it's gonna be really complicated in that matter, so we didn't make it super easy on ourselves, but we didn't also make it super hard. Because this is still my apartment, so we have access to it and we don't have to, relocate anybody besides me to film here. And I'm okay, sleeping on the floor of a drug den for a night. I'm okay with that if the movie is gonna turn out fine. I already, envisioned all of the scenes that we're gonna film in my head. We actually did some test shots for the certain scenes and transitions. So everything is pretty much already right here, the whole movie, so we just have to execute it nicely. Since there is only 1 month, we wrote that in one evening or one afternoon, and then the next day I divided the entire 3-page script into 2 shooting days. First day is where we are following the main character in her perfect life, so it's gonna be just a normal girl's perfect apartment, which is gonna be arguably the easier part. And then the second day we'll be filming with around 20 extras, and we're gonna have to trash the entire place to get that drug den crack house vibe that we'll be going for in this short. And for the writing, this was pretty much it. It was fairly easy short to write because, as I've said, I already had an idea and the entire short is based in this apartment. So writing it was not too complicated because we didn't have to come up with any extra locations. We didn't have to come up with any, permits or any major, plot twist and stuff like that, because the general backbone and the idea is something that I already did have in my head, so we just kind of wrote it into more details. But we are discussing between each other that we should probably start thinking about general idea for the next movie right now, while still in pre-production for the first movie, because it's gonna make it so much easier if we go into the next month with the general idea and then we just write the script around it, than if we go to the next month and we have nothing, because then it's gonna be really hard to come up with a good idea and then write everything in this, such a short span of time. That will be it for this video. Next video is pre-production and everything that went into it, so stick around for that.